Humans live off of the idea that there's a set right and wrong. We have been drilled with what to do and what not to do ever since we set foot on this planet. Think about that. We have been told is right and what is wrong, but how do we know what we have been told is accurate? Even laws labeled as wrong end up being labeled right down the line. Look at cannabis being legalized all over the country. We should not let a negative stigmatism prevent us from living to the fullest extent. Life is about taking risks. Going to college is a recent risk for most. At college, we get the opportunity of meeting so many unique people with so many altering perspectives. Why not take a leap of faith and try to see the world from one more incredible perspective? I'm here today to share knowledge on the potential benefits of hallucinogens, while potentially stripping negative stigmatism. I personally have seen multiple individuals go through a trip under the influence of these hallucinogens, and the results have been absolutely spectacular. If anxiety and depression are holding you down, if you feel completely stuck and hopeless, hallucinogens might be exactly what you need to find the mindset you need to progress. Homo sapiens from the dawn of history have been omnivores. It is no surprise that in the endless quest for food and sustenance, a number of plants with psychoactive effects were found and adopted into cultures for medical, magical, and religious purposes. Before the banning of hallucinogens in 1966, psychologists had used them with notable results. In the early 1940s, mescaline, the psychoactive agent in peyote, became very significant in the field of experimental psychology. By the late 50s, LSD therapy had gained popularity because of its remarkable results. 50% of chronic alcoholics exposed to just one LSD session quit drinking permanently. With the history in mind, and the idea that we should potentially consume hallucinogens, let's break that negative stigma and rid those fears. Hope is raised regarding their therapeutic potential, but at the same time, hope started to dwindle. People initially became swayed away from hallucinogens because of a Friedman survey about the potential dangers. The conclusion was that the potential harmful effects of LSD outweighed the potential benefits. Wide and undisciplined use of LSD revealed a rising tide of liability. The potential side effects of the drug include dizziness, anxiety, visual distortion, paralysis, instances of fear, hopelessness, and pending doom, along with momentary memory wipe and familiar objects becoming unrecognizable. In extreme cases, due to improper use, along with the creation of a false reality. Some people, while they're under the influence, accidentally attempt suicide. The drug itself has never physically killed anyone, and there is no such thing as a hallucinogenic overdose. All these side effects only have the potential to occur while under the influence. I know this all sounds intimidating, but these negative side effects can all be prevented in a controlled setting. When studied, it was shown that patients under the influence seem particularly sensitive to their environment. If the therapist acted cool and detached, the patient would respond with hostility and hurt feelings. However, if the therapist seemed warm and gentle in a comfortable setting, they would develop a bond unseen in traditional therapy. Study of people who had taken LSD under controlled settings revealed the following. 78% felt an increased ability to love. 69% felt an increased ability to communicate and understand each other. 69% felt that they were able to handle hostility better, and 71% felt an increase in self-esteem. 83% thought they had brushed up against some higher power. While others studied LSD, Harvard psychologist Dr. Leary began to study psilocybin, or hallucinogenic mushrooms. In one experiment, he gave the drug to 175 people. Over 50% of the people claimed to have learned a great deal about themselves and felt their lives had changed for the better. Over 90% wanted the experience again. In a psilocybin study at a maximum security prison, hardened criminals began to talk about love, ecstasy, and sharing. With all these potential positives, how can these drugs be illegal? Good news is that the benefits are becoming more well known and legalizations in certain states are starting to pop up. Oregon is a recent example. To end it off, we have to remember what we know to be true or correct may not always be the number one best way to think. Just because something has a negative connotation from the surface does not mean it is true. Every perspective should be given an equal chance. We should not make harsh judgments on anything until we have lived all sides of the story. Altering experience and facing fears head on only strengthens us, allowing us to deal with future problems in more ways than we ever thought was possible. Give hallucinogens a try.